Hello everyone, my name is Andre and today we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh this time. That's right, we're starting a new series and by popular demand, Yu-Gi-Oh The Abridged Series as one. Quite honestly, like I have said to some people in the comments, the few of you who suggested for me to do Helsing Bridge did make a good point. 10 episodes, it's quicker and you just get it over with and then you can watch this, which is fine. Personally, and quite honestly, I was considering it because of that same reason, but so many people have shown a little bit more interest in me watching Yu-Gi-Oh right now, given the choices that I've made. I decided it would be good to go by popular demand. So because of that, we are watching Yu-Gi-Oh The Abridged Series. So this is a short episode, so hopefully the video is not that big. But I wanted to explain a little bit what my history with Yu-Gi-Oh is before I do begin the series, because again, it's important that you guys understand where I am with the show. So I watched the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! King of Cards or King of Games or whatever the subtitle of the show was. I watched the entirety of the show when I was around 10 years old. So ever since I have never watched it again. Ever since that day. And quite honestly, I remember very little about the show. I do have a friend who loves the show deeply. So if I ever have like troubles, I can always ask him to consult me. But I do apologize if my knowledge on the show is very shallow. Regardless, I have indeed seen it. And even if I hadn't, I don't think it would be that problematic. Obviously, my insight on the show will be a bit more shallow and maybe more non-existent. I will analyze more the Yu-Gi-Oh series in this version, and I will analyze it more than a series like Dragon Ball Z Abridged, because I would analyze Dragon Ball Z and then Dragon Ball Z Abridged. So the analysis of the original series might lack in some aspects, but it still doesn't change the fact that I will do my best to analyze the series that we are watching. Having that said, let's perhaps begin. Guys, as always, please don't forget to show your support to Little Kuriboh. Links will be in the description below, as well as the playlist for Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged Series. Also, obviously, if you enjoy the content you're watching, if you like what you're watching, don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and social media. Links will be in the description below. It's good, it's free, it's fun. So do subscribe. It's amazing. You should do that. Trust me. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. And, if I tell you that you should subscribe, it's because, you really should. Just saying. Without any further ado, let's begin, shall we? So, why the sudden cut, you ask? Well, an ad so rudely interrupted me. It was for Doritos. So let's begin again.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was filmed before a live studio audience.
Hey, Joey. Heirs to Joey. Hey, are you in there? It's your move. Sorry, Yug. Doing this Brooklyn accent makes it difficult to concentrate on card games. I know what you mean. My voice is pretty crazy, too. I'm thinking about changing it. By the way, my grandpa has a super rare card. Groovy. Hey, bada bing. Rare card. That sounds vague enough to be the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And since I'm a child billionaire in charge of a huge gaming company,
yes,
I obviously have nothing better to do than go check it out.
Obviously.
Hey Gramps, can we please see your super rare, awesome, chocolatey, fudge-coated mega super card? I don't see why not. Here it is, the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
It is the Blue Eyes White
Dragon.
Dragon.
Name for a monster I've ever heard. What kind of moo could want a card like that? I'm here for your blue eyes, old man, and I won't take no for an answer. Now give it to me. No curses, foiled again. I'm going to go hire some thugs to kidnap you now. I'm a billionaire, so nobody will even think about pressing charges. That Kaiba kid needs to get laid. Beat him.
Yeah.
Hello, game shop. I kidnapped your grandpa, Yugi, and then I dueled him into submission. So could you get over here and call an ambulance for him? I have far too much money to be expected to do it myself. Wait, who is this?
New phone, who this?
Grandpa, are you okay? For some reason.
So, this is more. That whole grandpa was painful. So I was born. This was 14 years ago, like 2009. 2009. This was a long time ago. So fair enough. Like, not everyone is born a voice actor. But it's just like, when you're in my area, and you've watched so many films and stuff like that, you get used to a certain type of acting and to a certain just certain quality, right? And when you see like people acting like Mark Wahlberg in The Happening, what? No. It just makes you laugh, like seriously. So yes, point number one is indeed that the voice acting for now, for this episode, is not that great. But I will say something about the Yu-Gi-Oh animation. For hand-drawn animation, because this was hand-drawn, I think it's pretty good. Like, I feel like the characters are expressive enough, to the point that even though the voice doesn't accompany that expression as well, I feel like the characters are expressive enough to make up for that. Obviously, that's kudos to Yu-Gi-Oh series. I like the animation. I think it's good. I think the animation is good. Again, when you're talking about animation, and this is the most important thing, because you have to time that animation, right? You have to locate that animation in a particular time and period. And if you want to evaluate it, you need to compare it to other different animations that came out on the same time. So, because I don't have like a lot of reference when it comes to other animations that came around the time that Yu-Gi-Oh came, I can't really say if this is good for the time or not. But it does strike me as good animation. And I will say this, currently in nowadays we have way shittier animation than Yu-Gi-Oh. Way shittier. Like, I've seen so much worse animation. But like if you were talking about like facial expressions, this show is doing them right. Like, concern, clearly, but you have the sweat drops, which indicate like that he suffered like some sort of exhaustion, whether it was because he was beaten, whether it was because he was like kind of tortured. Clearly the injuries and whatever happened to him here is not serious, but you can tell that something did happen that put him into a state where he started to sweat a lot. The same thing can happen, like the eyes, they look with a bit of concern and pity, like because he's seen his grandson, right, was coming here and he shouldn't come. Most people in these types of shows have that reaction, like, no, you shouldn't come, let me take all the suffering because you are yet a kid. That happens quite a lot in these types of shows, so it's quite natural reaction. But yes, the voice acting, at least for now, it's not good. Not to say that it's not going to improve. Obviously, this show, if this show did not improve, and this is something that needs to be understood, like, even though this show is starting a bit on the bad side, cinematically speaking, the writing is still, I think the writing is decent, quite honestly. But even though the voice acting and kind of the quality is not as up to what we are used to from Dragon Ball Z Abridged and even normal shows, you can still tell that there's care put into the writing, and the writing itself, even though the voices can be a bit distracting, and it is true, the voices are distracting a little bit. But even though they can be a bit distracting, it still doesn't change the fact that it's decent enough. I am enjoying like the fast pace of this. This kind of reminds me like the Kai episodes.
Playing a card game has caused me to become severely injured. That's right. And now, watch this. Grandpa's special super rare awesome super card. What the heck did you do that for? So that it could never be used against me. In that case, why not just tear up every card in the whole world? Shut up and
Fair
do it.
enough.
Don't worry, Gramps.
Shut up and
I'll
do
win
me.
this duel with your deck. Wait a minute. I've been injured, so you're going to steal my deck and go play cards with your arch rival? Pretty much. No wonder your parents are never around.
Oh
Never mind,
shit.
everyone, and I'll mark us with a special sign.
Taya. Hey, not for nothing, but ain't this permanent marker?
Oh, whoops.
Why were you even carrying that thing around in the first place?
I'm a kleptomaniac. I stole it from school.
Hey, my wallet's missing.
Kaiba took it.
It's time for duel.
Wait, did your testicles just drop in the last 5 seconds or something? What the heck happened to your voice?
Holy raw. Real monsters.
Actually, they're just super advanced holograms created for the sole purpose of enriching the experience of a children's card game.
Again, even though the voice acting is not as good, the satire and the criticism is on point. So yeah, one of the things about the Kaiba Corporation from Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged, from Yu-Gi-Oh, is that they have all this advanced technology to the point of creating an entire world inside a computer for the son of the previous president, and the ability to create artificial consciousness and stuff like that. So, even though the Kaiba Corporation has such ability, technologically speaking, they still utilize that technological findings to enhance an ancient Egyptian card game found by whatever his name was, with the Eye of the Millennium, Pegasus. Found by Pegasus, which was the creator of the game, which so happens to have inside the cards inhabitants of like creatures that are godlike divinities, some of them, and it's actually not just a children's card name. It so happens to be like real shit, and have demons and stuff. Like, it is an odd plot line, and it is such a weird thing. So let's continue.
Okay, seriously, you've got to be f***ing kidding me. Who wastes all their money on something like that?
The guy who's going to beat your pasty pharaoh butt with 3 blue eyes white dragons. That's who.
Wait a minute, did you just summon a bunch of monsters in one turn?
Yeah.
So?
That's against the rules, isn't it?
Screw the rules, I have money. Now draw your
Fair
last
enough.
pathetic card, Yugi, so I can finish you.
My grandpa's
I never understood the 3 eyes blue dragon, 3 eyes blue dragon thing. So he destroys that final blue eyes card, but if he had 4, couldn't he make like a 4-head blue eyes white dragon or something along those lines? Like,
deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba, except maybe for Kuriboh. But it also has this, the unstoppable Exodia.
What?
Exodia!
They play
It's
Exodia in
not
the first
possible.
episode.
Nobody's ever been able to summon him.
Really? Is that because it's so rare?
No, it's because this game makes no sense. Nobody can figure out how to do it.
Nobody except me. Exodia, obliterate.
Big brother, is it time for my cameo yet?
How? How could you summon Exodia?
Kaiba, if you really wish to know, then talk to the hand.
Ah. I went myself.
Mr. Pegasus, sir. It seems the reigning Duel Monsters
Maximilian
champion has been
Pegasus.
defeated by someone named Yugi. Also, it's time for your sponge bath.
Yeah, no, that was good. So let me talk about this episode for a little bit. Like I've said in this episode already, the episode does have some problems when it comes to the voice acting. Now that's to be expected from someone who never had any training in voice acting. You cannot expect someone to just start doing something and just be great at it. Sometimes it can happen, because talent is a thing that does exist, but it doesn't necessarily happen all the time. And Little Kuriboh, I'm sure he'll be better, and I'm sure in 10 episodes I'll be able to tell like how good the show has become ever since the first episode. And I'm sure he himself is learning a little bit more how to do it. I'm sure that if I go here and search, like, the episodes get bigger and bigger, and this is probably the only episode that's under 4 minutes, and then it will be like you'll hardly find any episode under 5 minutes, and then it will be 6, 7, so on and so forth. 20, 29 minutes. That's great. As time goes on, what I mean by this is that as time goes on and you get more comfortable with stuff, it does make a big difference. Now, I don't know if the series is over or if it's going to continue or not. You guys can probably tell me in the comments below if this is still an ongoing series, or if you already, you know, I forget how many episodes Yu-Gi-Oh has, but it kind of depends, right? As an abridged series, it felt good. It felt decent. Like, hell, let's take it like step by step. The flow of the episode felt natural, felt good. It didn't feel like it was rushing. It didn't feel like it was slow. The pace felt, you know, that had like a decent flow. Characters, it's still too early to say like how the characters are, but they seem they seem like kind of caricatures. They seem like they are like, they don't seem like Dragon Ball, in which they are just overly exaggerated versions of themselves. They seem like they did change the characters a little bit. I might be wrong, again. I do apologize for that, but I have forgotten a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe I should watch it again. I don't know. But the point is, in general, it felt like the show, the writing was great. I will even say that I feel like the writing for this first episode might have been slightly better than the first episode of Abridged from Dragon Ball Abridged. I need to stop calling Dragon Ball Z abridged. But it did strike me as slightly better, because you had like just funny jokes in general, but then you had like serious criticism to the show itself, and that's what a parody needs to criticize its own show. Even if you love it, no show is without faults, and a parody should be able to take use of those faults and utilize them to make funny jokes and stuff like that. So I like that they utilize like some certain plot holes, like Kaiba, you know, investing trillions of dollars, and the fact that Kaiba like was able to kidnap an old man and not get like thrown into jail for some reason and stuff like that. Like, I like that they did that, because they are exploring the fragility of the show, even though they are not showing it disrespect, because it's easy to trash on a show. It's easy to get out there and just say this is wrong, and wrong. What's hard is to, you know, embrace the wrong and try to find the good in something. And I think that's what Little Kuriboh did here. I think he did, to be quite honest, for the first episode, I think he did an amazing job. If it was me, and you told me you have the opportunity to do something like this, I would have not been able to do it, not even half as well as what he did 14 years ago. Not even half as good. I couldn't do this. Swear to God. And that's what's amazing about this. But yeah. Guys, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoy it and if you like the content you're watching, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It's fun, it's good, it's cool. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.